Happy Tuesday, everybody. And hey, for all my new subscribers, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Excuse me, I'm trying to build a positive platform, a positive community, and I'm seeing a lot of positive and who you guys that I've subscribed to, and I appreciate you subscribing to me as well. Today I wanted to kind of talk about I have my Tong Ren doll here, but I'll explain him in a minute. Uh, and that's going to bridge over to the as I was explaining about Tom Tam. Sorry. Yeah, as you can see here, you have the Tom Tam healing system, and that's going to be based on your vertebrae in your back, based on your nervous system, your parasympathetic and your sympathetic parts of your nervous system. And I wanted to talk about kind of some basic protocols if one should develop an autoimmune disease, cancer, diabetes, high cholesterol, etc. I wanted to start with that first. I feel personally, through the research and through what I've read and studied and whatnot, I believe that one should actually stop eating completely and dry fast for the start. Now, there is some debate on whether to, when you start the wet fast, to use, say, a spring water or, say, a distilled water. I would actually do a little bit of a distilled water during a wet fast for maybe, I don't know, a few days, maybe a week, maybe a couple weeks, depending on how you feel on that. You have to base it off how you feel. And then you can introduce the regular water. What the fasting is going to do is it's going to actually realign your homeostatic level. It's going to bring you back into homeostasis. Because the problem is, obviously, I probably said it before, as I always say that, but obviously the foods that we eat, what you put in your mouth, the sugars, the starches, the grains, the rices, the cereals, the health food bars, all these things that we think are healthy, all are a man-made processed type of food, even though in a sense they're not, but they are, because they're not of nature, you see. So basically, when you eliminate the sugar, the fructose, the sucrose, the sucralose, all that stuff, and you eliminate your grains and you eliminate your dairy, because dairy causes massive mucus in your intestines, and that is a contributor to a lot of autoimmune diseases, especially cancers, because of the fact that it causes so much mucus, and mucus is actually a precursor for a whole host of disease, candida as well, where if you have we call it oral thrush, if you have a lot of white on your tongue, that means you have a lot of yeast and bacteria in your intestines, in my opinion, in your small intestines, your large intestines, possibly colon, definitely esophageal tract. If it's on your tongue, it's definitely going to be in the esophagus. And you can definitely research candida. It's very interesting on that. But in order to get rid of that, you have to eliminate everything that I had just stated. So now when you're fasting, now your body is all right. It does go into ketosis, and you are basically your body fat you start burning. So depending on your size and how, if you're thin or not, it's going to depend on how long you can fast. But even being thin, you can definitely fast for a few weeks if possible. And your body is going to actually re-identify with itself, because the foods are going to be taken out of the equation. What's contaminating you and harming you is going to be taken out of the equation. So now your body is going to go on your fixing. And through our cells, macrophages, the cell eaters, I believe they're macrophages. It's been a while since I've been in biology, excuse me, so if I'm wrong, please forgive me. You know, cells constantly replicate everywhere, every organ, skin, hair, nails, you know, teeth, you know, etc. Well, not teeth, my bad. I guess I was gonna say, well, bone. Bone definitely does. So bone will relate to the teeth because the stronger your bones are, the better your teeth are going to be. A lot of times, if you have weak teeth, that's going to be a sign of weak bones. So that's another, well, I guess thought that just popped into my head. But anyways, so basically what your body does is it realigns and it gets to re-identify with itself, get back into homeostasis, and then start eating out the disease that's present. And then, you know, I would recommend starting introducing a type of fruit, of a berry, a berry, a melon, or a berry. Excuse me, I'm sorry, a berry, melon, or you know, or a non-acidic type of fruit. I was meaning to say. Sorry, I just have a lot of ideas, and this is off the top, and I don't re-edit my videos, so it's going to be as most people say when they don't re-edit. What you see is what you get. So you would want to introduce, say, one type of fruit, say organic grapes you could do, organic blueberries you could do, another good, you know, some organic blackberries, watermelon, cantaloupe, you know, different things. But I would actually, you know, start with you know, maybe in the berry family, you know, something that's going to have a high ORAC, which is their antioxidant level value. And you can research, you know, particular fruits, but you kind of start, you know, you introduce one. If you have a problem with fruit, maybe a couple at a time, and you stick with that, and you just kind of eat that in a fasted state, but, you know, more so, you know, maybe like 2 or 3 times a day, or maybe if you start maybe once a day and then see how you feel for a few days, if you can hack it, maybe eat an abundance of it one time, and then, you know, kind of go from there and gauge it, and then you maybe add another you know, seeding, another meal of it. And what then again is going to start happening is, without the food and with the fruit, you know, your system is going to be kind of flushing itself out. Your lymphatic system is going to come in now, and now you're going to you should start to excrete. It's going to actually look like a white mucus, and once your lymphatic system gets working, your lymph, you're going to actually start urinating out your lymph. It's going to flow out. You're going to start cleaning your body out. And this was something that I just learned. If you want to Google on YouTube, or not Google, I'm sorry. If you want to search on YouTube, Dr. Morse, Dr. M-O-O-R-S-E, or no, Dr. M-O-R-S-E, I'm sorry. If you want to Google him, he has a high in-depth explanation of his protocols and the fruit perspective. Another interesting guy is Snake Diet on YouTube. He's a little more extreme. I do agree with his fasting and his drink that he has people drink while they fast, and how he does it. The raw meat that he adds in, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but that would be another video. But basically, you know, you're going to start peeing out lymph. Which is what we should be doing anyways, which I never knew. Everybody said you're supposed to pee clear. Well, actually, we're supposed to be peeing lymph out of us, and the only way to do that is through the protocol that I had just given. So basically, once that lymph, which is filled with white blood cells, filled with, you know, healing agents and everything, it's going to be toxic at first, but you're going to be flowing it out. Your cells are going to be regenerating. They're going to be getting stronger. They're going to be getting healthier. Your white blood cells are going to be coming into play. Your T cells, your helper T cells, you know, all your immunity cells, your cells, I believe the T cells, actually, I think It may come from the bone marrow. I'm not sure on that. Don't quote me. There are some cells that do come from the bone marrow, white blood cells that are very important in health as well to the body. So through all this, the body is going to kind of realign itself. And then by adding organic, the fruit has to be organic. And grapes is an excellent thing to do. I would also recommend getting fresh lemon, organic lemon, and kind of just freshly squeezing it in that fasted water that you're going to drink once you start introducing the fruit. That's going to kind of help clean out those kidneys, kind of help crack them open, as they say. So from there, your body is going to start to heal itself. Hopefully. I mean, I can't say 100% because nothing is 100%. Sometimes this doesn't work, unfortunately. But there's a lot of great success with people that have tried it and that are on this diet and that are following it and following a lifestyle. And I just want to bring this out there, because every disease is on the rise and everybody's getting hit with something, and I feel so bad. I feel for everybody, especially when you see the kids' cancer commercials come on, and you see the poor kids. I actually cry, to be honest with you. When I see a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old with a bald head or with something around their head, it kills me. It really does. It freaking kills me. So that was just the protocol. I know I ran a little bit, but real quick, the TAM healing, it's an acupuncturist perspective, and basically it's going to be based on your meridians in the body of the Chinese healing system, and the points that are going to be on this chart, which I know unfortunately you're not going to be able to really see that too well. I'm not going to be able to get it. But there's going to be some points on there, as you can see, that are going to relate. So on that spinal column right next to it, what you're going to do is on the patient, you're going to take your thumb like this, and you're going to kind of knead in a sense. And what you do is you go down from the cervical, the thoracic, lumbar, then sacral, and through the top of the head, the neck, all the way down. You usually start right side of the body and left side of the body. And you're going to work it. And then you're going to feel the ouch point, as they call it. And the ouch point is actually the blockage. So then you're really going to work that. And you're going to, you're going to go right, you're going to go left. And then once you're done with the massage, then they're going to cup the back you. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen Michael Phelps, some of the sport players that are having those, they show the back and they show the round circles and the darkness, the red, or the dark purple, the red, the lightness. So you're going to get cupped on your back, usually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 to 9, 10, depending on how many. When they pull them off, the more discolored are is where the blockage is, more so than where the less discolored are. And it also identifies points to the body, say liver, kidney, stomach, gallbladder, etc., that could be inflamed or an area that needs to be looked at. And I wanted to show the doll real quick. Sorry. Oh, there he is. And I wanted her. There she is, whoever. And, you're going to have points on this guy. Now, this is Tongren therapy, so I would have a hammer here, and this is more for either long distance or if we were in a class together and you were to say, okay, you suffer from this, or you want to tune up, which is just to kind of revitalize you. So I would stand there holding this dial right here, and depending on, say it was for a tune-up, there would be, a number of specific points that I would hit with the magnetic hammer on the dial that would transfer over to you through the energy process. And you can do that in class, you can do that long distance. So for, say, if you knew of somebody or you yourself were suffering from anxiety, any type of ailment or anything, and you wrote me, hey, Mike, can you do some long distance? Well, sure, I have the book, I have the hammer, and I would be able to do long distance, as well. So basically, through these points on the body, and through massaging, the back, going all the way down, you're unblocking the body. And in the Chinese philosophy of Eastern Chinese medicine, or traditional Chinese medicine, I should say, where the blockage is a blockage of energy. So obviously those cells are jammed, and that's where the toxins and the buildup are going to come. And then from that, your tumor is going to metastasize, it's going to arise. So once you get these blockages out and you get the body to flow free, and the energy, and you get the body to now actually, you put the energy in the body. And I researched it, and I believe I'm not sure what it takes, the amount of energy, but they say the human hand can emit enough energy to actually shrink a tumor, which is why these, and I actually had Googled that too. I had read that. I had actually read that in Master Tom Tam's healing book that I do have, that the human hand can do that, and I've seen it firsthand. I did go see him back in 1993 and 94 for OCD and depression, and it helped for a little bit. I think it's harder on the mental illness aspect, because mentally you're kind of thinking about it all the time, than when you're in maybe a disease state and you're kind of, not so mentally into it, even though you're worried, you're concerned, but you're trying to have hope. So for some reason, I think it may tie in different, but it did give me a little relief. And I felt very relaxed. It was great up at the Oriental Culture Institute in Boston, Mass. I just was a little sloppy on how I said it yesterday. So, I just kind of wanted to show and that's called the Tom Tam Healing System, if you wanted to Google that to get some more information. But basically, you're just opening up the body, you're allowing the energy to reflow, and it's going to regenerate that way as well. And many times they'll tell you what to eat, how to eat, and they'll kind of guide you through the process of, what foods to put in your body for healing. Because everybody's going to have a different philosophy and a different perspective. But in my opinion, as long as you maintain a positive philosophy that you go with, and you try it, and you give it a shot, and you keep an open mind to it, and you study some Tai Chi, Yang style, and some Qigong therapy, or some Qigong movements, you can definitely heal the body through means of acupuncturists, and through the Yang style of Tai Chi and the Qigong. And the Yang and the Qigong you could do in a class and learn it, or you could even, buy videos and practice it at home. Obviously, you'd want to practice it at home if you learn it from a class, but you could do it at home through videos if you were able to pick it up. But if you had a class in the area, I'd highly recommend checking into that too. It's amazing. I'm kind of talking back from, I remember in the high school days of meditating, putting some candles on, putting some music on like I have here, and kind of just, doing some of the Qigong movement, shutting my eyes, feeling the energy through my hands. If you kind of put your hand out and you feel a little tingle, you feel tingly, well, that's your energy. And if you hold your energy over, your hand, and you start feeling that heat, you start understanding, wow, okay, I'm resonating something. Now, when you put that into years of study, and these masters are so in tune with nature and the environment and the planet and earth, and, just the spiritual realm, and you add all that in, it's amazing what can be done when you just do those simple things yourself in a relaxed state, and you feel it, and then you can say, wow, you understand it a little bit more. So that was it. Thank you for your time. Again, be safe out there. Have a blessed day. And I appreciate everybody for stopping by and listening. And any new people that stumble upon me, please hit the like button and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Have a nice day, everybody. Nice Tuesday. And, great to great to the healing for everybody. And I hope everybody's doing well. And if you have any questions, please ask. And I'll get back to you definitely. Thank you so much.